representatives from civil society, representatives from ministries, departments, and agencies, the fourth estate, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We are here to witness a very historic activity. The discussion, the pre-legislative hearing of a private member's bill. We never had one in the 5th Parliament, and before the 5th Parliament, we had very few. But this is going to go down in our history that the 6th Parliament ensured or created a platform for a private member's bill. This is not just a private member's bill, it is one that's going to touch the hearts and minds of the population of Sierra Leone. We're talking about a private member's bill that's talking about the protection of that child. And we all know when you educate a girl child, you're educating a whole nation. So let's be mindful, we're all going to make history. Like every other pre-legislative hearing, the purpose is to ensure that as members of parliament, we broaden our understanding on the contents of the bill. Based on that information, we'll be able to make informed choices as we take decision on behalf of our people. So it is against this backdrop that you're welcome here today, and in the process, you make meaningful contributions to ensure that by the time we go to the plenary, we'll be able to make the decisions that will benefit this generation and generation yet unborn. So on this note, I want to welcome you again to this session. Thank you very much. Well, in fact, I think I need a louder applause. And the cameras are watching. We're going to be on you based on how you really applaud the process. Thank you. Yes. Now we go to statements. We're going to keep them very short as we're already behind schedule. The chairperson of gender committee, but in her absence, I will call on the whip of the opposition, Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara, to make a statement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Madam First Lady, all political observers, both leaders of political parties in the Parliament. I think, as the Chairman said, this is not just an historic event, this is a liberation day for our women in Sierra Leone. Many women have not reached their full potentials because of the practice in the past. And the 6th Parliament, we are not just making history, but we are liberating our women. It's not just the numbers. I have said, if we have the number of women in this parliament and they cannot address the issues affecting women in society, it is better they will have not come to this parliament. I look forward to more and more legislation that will bring freedom to women. Remember, you are not just women because you are born so. You are women because you are in this parliament to liberate the many women out there who do not have voices to echo them to society. So continue to do the engagement. Be rest assured, I am sure the leadership of our parliament are always behind you, and we are ready to do things to bring our women to speed with us. We cannot leave a vast majority of our population without voice. And if we're giving you the voice, we want to hear the voice on issues affecting women across the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I was really expecting the women to be more cooperative because the honorable member just said, bring more legislation to liberate women. I think that's a very loud call. Thank you very much, Honorable. Yes, at this point, I have the honor to invite somebody who has also been very passionate, very committed, especially when it comes to the issues of women. It's no other person than the leader of the opposition, Honorable Abdul Karim, for his statement. Let's put our hands together for the leader.
Yes, I firstly want to presence of Her Excellency the leader of government business, deputy leader of government business too, leaders of the opposition, that is the way deputy 1 and 2. Okay, the deputy leader of government business 1 is also here. I also want to recognize the presence of members of parliament who have left our busy schedule to honor this invitation. I want to state here that we are here on a very important note. We are here to see how best we could fight for those who don't have the strength to fight. We could speak for those who are voiceless, and we could advocate for those who don't have the power. Child marriage has been very preeminent in rural areas, and some of us who come from those areas have witnessed child marriage firsthand, and we've seen instances where there are inability of these children to give birth because of lack of preparedness of their organs. So if we are here as a parliament to look at this very bill, so may I consider it a blessing and an opportunity. Like I said, it was Mother Teresa who once said, your life is not worthwhile until you decide to leave it for others. Other people should benefit from your life. It's not all about you. And this bill is so sensitive that members of parliament should be put to work, Her Excellency, because most of what is in this bill need proper sensitization. Members of parliament are deliberately drawn from every district of this country so that they could be able to reach their people and conscientize them about laws that are made and passed in parliament so that they don't fall victim of it. So firstly, I want to crave on your indulgence to also see and find ways as to how members of parliament will be empowered to go back to their people in those remote villages and inform them about the details that are in this. Yes. And also, I have read through the bill. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. But again, when you make law, there are things you look at and there are things you intend doing. You don't deliberately make law to punish people. If there are ways you have for them not to fall foul of the law, it's better you do it than you wait for them to fall foul of the law and discipline them through the law. So I went through briefly, and I also noticed that we also have to pay attention at some of the causes of this child marriage. You know, when you attack the root cause, you stop the problem. But when you just bring law to prohibit it becomes surreptitious. They do it underground, you know, without people knowing. Because some families are very poor. You can abuse their child and give them money. Don't keep quiet about it. They will not bring it to the attention of government because they are also fighting for their survival. That is how most rich men in those villages have abused so many children. Because when they do anything, the family cannot provide for themselves. You know, they go to the family and they give the family, you know, pittance. And because of the pittance, the family will be very protective of the perpetrator. So we have to also look at how best we can do to see that we attack poverty, you know, in those areas, because the key problem, and restore confidence on the people that when once you report, nothing will be done to you. Or when once you report, your child who is the victim will be well taken care of. Because most times when they report and the man who is the perpetrator is handled by the law and dealt with by the law, nobody will care again about the victim. You see, so at the end of the day, it will be their own problem. So we want to see how best, we will do to make sure that the victims are safe and they are okay, so that they are well taken care of. You see, the lack of education also in those rural areas is also very, very serious. That is the very reason for which I have pleaded with Her Excellency that effort should be made, especially with members of parliament who are here, to make sure that they conscientize their constituents, so that they know what is embedded in this very law. I have also, looked at the manner also in which we can holistically address this problem once and for all. What is so bad is that when a problem submerges, it's extremely bad. I could remember when we were here, we deliberated about push, and we made some laws, to make sure that we arrest or we dealt with anybody who is found wanting. So what they did was they went underground. So we want to see how best we can be able to handle this once and for all. So the underlying problems also should be taken note of. And also, I see in some clauses, like clause 7, the bill talks about incriminating whosoever attends, a child marriage. And firstly, we also should be careful because one, nobody announces his or her age before the marriage. Yes, maybe out of ignorance or out of lack of knowledge of the age, you may attend. Because I have seen some 15 years old that looks like 25 years old. I don't know whether you've seen such. So when you are invited to the wedding, you will assume that this person is more than 15 years. Not knowing that the person is below 15 years. And at the end of the day, you may have fallen foul of the law, and you'll be dealt with accordingly. So let us see how best we can be able to institute some safeguards for those who would be attending marriages. Either we let it be known that the ages of whosoever is getting wed, is published, or is written on the invitation card. Yes. Yes. So that I don't go to marriages that I don't know the ages of people. I don't know if I'm on point. Yes. And also the bill talks about promoting child marriage. Clause 6, promoting child marriage. Again, I asked myself that what constitutes promoting child marriage? Because it is not too clearly spelled out in the bill. It is not too clearly. I'm saying this because our mama has a good heart for the kids. That is why she has brought this document here. But some other unscrupulous citizens may want to misuse this to go after people who have not clearly gone against the law. The word promoting child marriage should be clear enough so that law enforcement agencies would know that, when you do this, you have promoted child marriage. When you do that, you have promoted child marriage. But the long and short of it is that we are very proud that such bill is brought to Parliament, and we want to assure Her Excellency that we'll do everything within our power to ensure that this bill passes with the required speed that it needs. And we want to let it know that don't hesitate to put your hands together. Yes, so we want to thank her, and she has shown to us very clearly of her perseverance and persuasion. You know, the mere fact that she has spent ample time with us in Parliament is a clear demonstration of her willingness to fight for those who cannot fight and to speak for those who cannot speak. So we want to assure you, Her Excellency, of our fullest cooperation, and we want to assure you that this will go down in history and on the sands of time, that she played a significant role in fighting for those children who have been abused over the period of time. This is their period of grace. This is their moment of emancipation from those men who have always taken advantage of them. So, yes, exactly. So we want to thank the mother of the nation. We want to thank the mother of the nation, and we want to assure her that members of Parliament from all the sides of the aisle are very much prepared to make sure that the children of our nation are safe. So may God bless you as we look at the day.
Thank you very much, Leader of the Opposition. Her Excellency, you've been assured by the Leader of the Opposition that members from both sides are ready to work with you to protect the children of this country. And again, it's very clear that it is a blessing, an opportunity for us to live our lives for others as we take the lead as servant leaders to ensure that we pass very good laws. The issue of clauses 6 and 7, Honorable Leader, they will be dealt with. But the law will always be the law, and will make provision for investigation, and no innocent person will fall victim even when things go wrong. But then it will be dealt with. Thank you very much. You see, having listened to the leader of the opposition, you will say, oh, leadership are ready. But then, I think when you listen to the leader of government business, you will know that leadership is more than ready. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable members, put your hands together for... Please allow me to introduce you. You don't have the opportunity to introduce the crocodile on a daily basis. But now, honorable members, again, put your hands together for the living crocodile. The leader of government business, Honorable Martin.
Chairman, I don't know if you have done the amendment for your program.
Well, it has been done. I'll have to announce the amendment, but yes. Please proceed, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairman. First, I want to say thanks to God we are all here. And Her Excellency, Madam First Lady, the Leader of the Opposition, my colleagues. Let me stand on the existing protocols for me to opine on this very important bill. You know, I borrowed the words from my opposition leader. He said the bill of emancipation. You know, I also joined in by quoting that you can fool people sometimes, but you cannot fool people all the time. Good must prevail over evil. She is the Messiah to fight for the emancipation. You know, I like to go to the genesis of this whole business. Sometimes we should have a face of a patriotic issues that we bring forward for the good of our nation. When she started the issue of hands off our guards, people wanted to politicize it. We said, I like, we must support our ladies. We must support our young women. We must support those who have not been given the opportunity to know their rights. These men is going to talk about 16. They must go office ladies. So in fact, for the issue of sensitization, for the issue about talking about girl child protection, we also what she did for the answer of our girls. Let's make a reflection. She brought all the paramount chiefs from the different districts, different chiefs, put them in a platform where all of them made a statement, where all of them can support our girl child emancipation. But our First Lady, today what she started in December 14th rather, what she started December 14th, I can't remember the year again. 2019. About the offspring of that drive. Hands off our girls. Today, this is one of the beneficiaries. Yesterday, I was talking with my colleagues. I said, if I am men who forget about Sweet 16, I would just say, hands off our girls. Now, so I will call this billions. Because it's really that we are talking about. Take off your hands from our children. And that is why child is defined in the interpretation of the bill. Anybody below the age of 18 is a child. So what she has done, talking about answer for our girls in the connotation of our local language. In Timene, you can get interpretation when I followed her. In Mende, you can get interpretation. In Creole, then we call it locally when we want to enjoy ourselves. I don't know the language very well. Well, she has been preaching about it. She talk about Sweet 16. How can 16 be sweet? You are involved in child abuse. How can it be sweet? Thank you too. I know, but he's a preacher. I know my. We are working, so I know his case. I know his languages. But he has not known this nomenclature because of abuses, but because of what is happening within our community. He is passionate. Let us address some of these issues. He raised. So I just first colleagues, I want you to understand where we're coming from. We are coming from a national drive. When you move around, when you go within your regions, and you see issues happening, just as what we do for oversight. If you go to section 93 of our constitution, it tells you that when you do oversight, the report of that oversight must be translated in terms of policy drive or what we enact as laws. So the problems we try to solve by an enactment. So what she has done in using in a different form as an outsider, that's why we have the private member bill. Using one of us to say, look, I've gone round. I have something I want to address. This cannot be addressed using a government motion. I want it to be a political bill. So I want you to pilot solve for us. So she's here today, Honorable Mama Zungu, to pilot this bill. So, as I said entirely, that is the offspring of the House of our girls. It's no political to say this bill SO2 and the House of our girls. We have been fighting for our needs. And when we started the drive for women to come to the fore, not only coming to the fore, but to take positions, as I said, and let me repeat my words, because so many people who have led before, they are selfish. That's why ladies are behind today in these administrations. Because we know by nature men are selfish. Today we want to kill that spirit of selfishness to bring a selfless service to women. So the issue of gender parity must be looked into with a amount of seriousness. So, Madam First Lady, there are issues we have to raise with the bill. But let me now tell you that also there are so many things that you can really benefit from the bill. In fact, we are not talking about girl child specifically in the bill. It's talking about the two parties, male and female. In fact, if you go from the interpretation right up to the miscellaneous provisions, you can realize that we're talking about the parties involved. I remember coming from when I was in school. We are coming from cosmopolitan and environment, and you have some tribes. These are cultural practices. A cultural practice, you don't have to abuse law. You have to do the confines of the law. So there are early marriages not only for the female, but even for both of them under age, below the age of 18. So they will bring them together that you are going to do early marriage. And they will put them in the same dwelling house with their parents so that they can be together, cohabit. In fact, that is double crime. They marry them and they cohabit. So before they get to the point at the age of 18, they are giving back to 2 or 3 children. So what we are seeing is also addressing the issue of male and female. Also addresses the issue of just because it was out of abuse, it was out of abrogation of the law, not necessarily mean that you have to also deprive the children, the offspring of that early marriage. They are going to go to benefits out of what you are going to enact. But the bill is divided into different parts. There are protection, there is annulment of early marriage, there is also compensations. And the compensation area is specified. How do you go about compensating? If you are living your serious life under this early marriage, you also got to be charged, whether you go to people sum or you pay a monthly arrangement. It's also enshrined in the bill. But let me address the issue of talking about if you attend. If you look at the miscellaneous provision, you don't do the administration of the law. That's what we have in the miscellaneous. We have what they refer to as rules. But what normally we do for conformity of the law, we talk about regulations. So he has raised the issue about talking about if I do attend, have I committed an offense? Yes, by law, it's under conformity of the law. It's out of investigation that you be set free. That's why you are called for investigation, and all of you will be on bail. In fact, that's the reason we are amending the CPA bill. It will come very soon for confirmation. But let me explain. For the regulation coming, it is a regulation that explicitly states it will state clearly that if you attend a marriage, now they will now give what entails in that provision in clause 7 he mentioned. And also I also have a question for, they refer to the court system when you look at part 6 of the bill. They talk about the court system. In the definition of this context, but if the professional is here, Madam First Lady, are we talking about the court system in the general definition of court? Or if we are going to expressly state that in this bill, let us define what we mean by court. Because most of the abuse taking place on age, you don't have court system, you have local court if someone already recognized, or some type of setting around the vicinity. Those who can look at. The regulation speaks to so many things. So we anticipate that the experts will talk to us about what is the definition of court, or do we need to expressly state that definition of court for regulation? But of course, there are much people who get penalty in our debates. But let me tell you, as I started with the words, joining my colleagues, emancipate yourself. Let us be free. Take some men and women here are victims. Some men and women here are victims. Who feels it, knows it. Perhaps if you have talked to some people in higher society today, they will tell you more. So I want to appreciate Madam First Lady for coming. This is a very good thing. And let me assure you tomorrow, we'll allow you to have a talk to the speaker, we'll allow you to deliberate as much as they can. But let me assure you to ready to sit for a very long day, because we want to conclude this bill tomorrow. The reason why we are concluding it, because the president in his presidential speech for women, I don't know if probably the second page, says, our democracy is enriched because of the inclusivity of more women using the proportional representation to form the tapestry of our democracy. That is the word of our president. And in another expression, in the Fifth Parliament, he said, if you educate a woman, you have educated a nation. And if you have the First Lady, with this type of zeal, with this type of atmosphere, with this type of charisma, type of gravitas of bringing women together, fighting their cause, irrespective of tribe, region, political boundaries, let us join her to fight for the rights of our women. It is a cause, it's a religious cause. If you are a Muslim, join her. If you are a Christian, join her. But if you believe that we should grow as a state in the face of freedom, unity, and justice. Let us fight for the cause of women. Thank you very much. May Lord bless us.
Thank you very much, Honorable Leader of Government Business. You went very far to quote Bob Marley, but I will quote you. I will quote the Leader of Government Business. He said, "Women must kill the spirit of selfishness in us and work selflessly for the protection of our women." I think that's what we have to take home. We have to work selflessly for the protection of our women. Thank you very much, Leader of Government Business. I'll now call on the pilot of this whole aeroplane. I'm not talking about the owner of the flight, but the pilot, with very clear instructions to take it to a destination, more or less a very safe destination. She has worked tirelessly on this.